Hey guys and gals, welcome to a new tutorial. Now, I tried recording this once already. Got to a certain point where we're going to be using timers by events, and they weren't working. And I spent an hour trying to figure out why they weren't working, and, finally found the culprit. I'm going to share with you guys, because it's hilarious. Well, it's hilarious to me now. Anybody that watched the previous tutorial where we've used the first person template will know that we worked on stopping time. So what was happening was I was pressing play to test and then right clicking inside the box to get control, and when I did that it was freezing time, which meant that my timers would never work. So yay! Right, so I'm gonna quickly just, get rid of that and then film this for you guys, then I'm just gonna go and jump off a bridge. So, today's tutorial we are doing flashlights and a battery system. If you've watched the devlog for Depot, you'll know the kind of thing that I'm talking about. We're going to follow that. Well, we're not going to follow that. We're going to make that today. For you guys, we're using the first-person template. This will work with any character that you want to use, but anytime that I use cast to first person, just make sure that you're casting to your own character. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is open this dude up, and you'll notice I've gotten rid of the... You'll have a projectile spawn here. I got rid of that because I don't like to accidentally fire the gun while I'm doing things because it's noisy. I'm going to select the mesh and make it invisible and hide it in game. I'm going to grab the gun and do the same. I've also done the same with the VR gun because I never use VR, so that's not going to be needed. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a component, spotlight, and this is going to be our torch. I'm just going to position him into a healthy torch-like position. Maybe there is good. And then I'm going to just change the intensity to be a lot higher, so 15,000, because this is a movable light. It's going to be affecting, it's going to have less intense lights because they're not baked. And then the outer cone we're going to change to 25, so it's a lot smaller and a bit more torchy. And then we're going to leave that there like that. We're going to compile. We're going to go into the world, take our directional light, which is our light source, drop the intensity down to 0.1, grab the sky dome, unplug the light source, and change the sun height to -1 so we get nighttime. We've got this nice dark scene, and you can see that the light's working on our character. Now you'll notice if I go to this wall here that it doesn't tilt with us, it just rotates. Okay. The reason it's doing that is because the light is currently standalone. So if we head into here, you see that the light is here and it's standalone. We actually want this to be parented to the first person camera, so we're going to click and drag onto the first person camera, and that's going to add that to the camera's hierarchy. So now the light belongs to the camera. So if we go in and we rotate, you can see now that the light does in fact go up and down with the camera. So lovely, lovely. That's doing what it should. So now we're going to build some blueprint for this. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to quickly head up here to event begin play, and where we have this, we're just going to drag the begin play backwards, get our light from here, drag this out and say set hidden in game, plug this in, new hidden is yes, and then we'll plug this back into the branch here just so that everything else can still do its thing. All the default stuff can still do what it does, and now when we play, the light's actually hidden, we can't see it, which is good because the light wants to be off to start with. So let's find a nice empty spot. We're going to right click, keyboard F. I'm going to be using F for this because flashlight, it's one of the default keys in most games, is the F key, and we want this to act like a button that switches on and off, and we can do that by using a flip-flop, which basically if we press F it will do A, and then if we press F again it will do B. So, huzzah! Excusez-moi. So, when we press the initial flip-flop, what do we want to do? Well, we actually want to branch, because what we need is a variable, and we're going to call it light power. We're going to change this to a float. We'll quickly press compile so we can change the default, and we'll default this to 100. So this is our power for our light source. We're going to get this, and we're going to say greater than 0. So if we've got more than 0 power, we will do the thing. Okay. So more than 0 power, do the thing. We'll grab the spotlight, set hidden in game to not hidden. So we're going to leave this unticked. So we don't want it to be hiding. We actually want to be able to see the light this time. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set timer by event. And what this will allow us to do is create an event which uses this timer, and we're going to set the time to 0.5. We're going to turn on looping because we want this to continue. We're going to drag from the event and type custom event. We'll get a custom event, and we're going to call this battery drain. Okay, now what we're going to do is we'll drag from here, we'll say print string, and what we're going to do is we'll say battery draining. We'll compile that. And then we're going to go into the game, and if we press F, the light comes on, and now you see it says battery draining up in the corner. So the timer event is working. Yay, we've got beyond where I got to earlier before having to debug for an hour. Woohoo! So, we'll get rid of the print string, and now what we're going to do is we're going to set the light power, and what we're going to do is get light power and say minus. So float minus float, and we're just going to leave that as 1. So it's light power -1 every half of a second. Now you can set these numbers to whatever you want them to be. I'm just doing this because I like those numbers. It means we get 50 seconds worth of on time before it turns off. If you want it to go quicker or slower, just change the numbers to whatever you need. Excusez-moi. So then what we're going to do is we're going to say, well, branch, what happens if light power is less than 0.1. So if we have less than 0.1 power, so essentially anything 0 and below, what are we going to do? Well, if we have that, what we're going to do is we're going to call a new custom event. So we'll right click, custom event, light off, and we'll drag from our spotlight again, and we'll say set hidden in game. Put this in, tick new hidden as yes. Then from the flip-flop B we can actually say light off. So we can just do that straight away. And from here we'll say light off. And now the issue we have is that the event is still going to go, so we can drag from this return value here and we can say clear and invalidate timer by handle. And we'll just take this pin, you can hold control and drag any pin to plug it somewhere else and put that into there. So now that should do a thing, so we should be able to turn the light on and off. So light is on, it's draining power but we don't have a print string for that, and we can turn it off again. So let's just quickly give a print string. So we'll say before we branch, print the string, and what we're going to print is light power. So you just plug light power straight in, it will convert this into a string for us. Press play and F, and you can see power is going down in the top corner. If I press F again it should stop, and it does. So that's working. Yay! And if we were to go into the first person character again and say we just wanted to start with 10 light power instead of 100, just so we can see that it should die. If we turn it off, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it turns off. And we can't turn it back on again, pressing F. So there we go, that does that. So let's head back into first person character real quick, and we'll re-default light power to 100. Excuse me. And while we're here, we'll quickly give a new variable, and this is going to be batteries. And we're going to set this to an integer, because we want whole numbers for this one. We're going to leave that defaulted at 0. The player has no batteries. So let's create our stuff. So let's just quickly create a new folder, so I don't have one already. Command, learn to type, shoot, or re-out content. There you go. New folder, flashlight tutorial. So I'll open this up. blueprint class actor, and I'm going to call it battery underscore BP. We'll open it up. We'll quickly give this a static mesh. I'm just going to choose a generic 1 meter cube, and I'm going to scale it down. Make it a little bit taller. This is going to be our battery. Very, very crude, I know, but you know, we don't really need anything fancy for this. You guys probably have your models ready. We're going to get a box collision, and we're going to scale that up. There we are. Yep, cool, scaled. Nice. So now if our character touches the box collision, that's what we're going to have him use to collect. So we'll get rid of we'll keep begin plate. What we're going to do is we're going to timeline. We'll get the static mesh, set local rotation. Oh, no, we won't. We'll set a relative. In fact, you know what? Don't do that. Set actor rotation. Because we're just going to use self. We'll plug that into the update. We are going to open the timeline. We're going to say 1 second, add a float track, add a key to the curve, oops, 0, 0, right click, add key to curve, 1, 1. We'll go back into the event graph. We will lerp rotator, plug the track into the alpha, and the Z we're going to give 360 on the B. We can plug this in, we'll press compile, we'll drag one of these into the world, and now that will just rotate. Oh, it rotated once, I forgot to turn on looping. Silly. Open up the timeline, tick loop, compile, go back in. Yay, spinning battery. It's a bit quick, but you know, you get the idea. Slow it down if you want to. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to grab the box on the left, right click, add event, unbegin overlap. From other actor, cast to first person, or whatever your character is, as I said earlier. So we'll make sure that this is only actually occurring here. Oh, I've grabbed the hood. Why have I grabbed the hood? First person character, there you go. So then as first person character we want to set, light power, forgot what we called it, to 100. So that's going to just reset the light power to 100, and then destroy actor, which will get rid of the battery when we collect it. So if we press play and we turn on our light, you can see it's 99, 98, blah 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 blah, and if we collect it, boink, back up to 100 we go. Okay, so that's one battery. We're going to right click it, duplicate it, and we're actually going to just give this a slightly different name. We're going to call this battery underscore reload underscore BP. We'll open them up. It's going to be exactly the same, except instead of setting light power, what we're going to do is drag from first person character and set batteries. And plug all that in, and then what we need to do is drag from first person character and get batteries, and then plus. So we get integer plus integer, and we just add 1 to this. So we get batteries, set batteries to batteries plus 1, and then destroy the actor. We'll just place this in here as well, just there. And now if we were to grab the first person character, doorbell's going, I'm just going to have to ignore it. If we grab the first person character, we have the batteries here, and we can say, well, keyboard R. If we press R, what do we want to do? We want to branch. We'll get batteries. Batteries are greater than 0. Somebody's really persistent. You know what? Grab a drink, guys. bless, little old man thought that he had the right house. He didn't. Okay, so we have batteries, and we're going to make sure that batteries are greater than 0. So if batteries are greater than 0, what are we going to do? We're going to set batteries to batteries minus 1, and then set light power back to 100, like so. And then just for good measure, what we'll do is we'll go into this battery here, which is the reloadable battery, and we'll say, before we destroy the actor, print string of how many batteries we now have. So we'll compile that. Oop, press play, we'll turn on the light. It's taking battery away, we'll grab this one. Let's reset the battery. We'll grab this one, we now have the 1, and if we press reload, we now reset the power. So there you go, guys, we have a working flashlight. The only thing that we really need to consider with this is, as it's working like a real flashlight here, because of the flip-flop, if we're currently in the on side, and we turn off the light here while battery drain's occurring, which does stop this, technically the flip-flop is still in on, so the next time we press the button it's going to be off. So if you run out of battery and then you plug it in, the torch technically has to be pressed twice to reset. But that's all. That's the only issue with this system. Sorry about the small distraction, but you know, guy really wanted me to answer the door. I assume that he can hear me because, I don't know, I'm sat quite close to where our front door is. So you got to hear my doorbell, it's all like ding dong. There we go. So yeah, there we have a simple flashlight system. I gotta go do some more work on Depot now, and then try and get some more tutorials for you guys later today, and definitely some tomorrow, because I'm gonna be away for the weekend. Which means it's going to be some 4 days that I'm out of touch. As usual though, my Twitter's down below, my Discord is down below, my Patreon's down below. Check them out. Join us in the chat if you want to. We've got quite a few people in there now. It's actually really active. It's really cool. Just seeing you guys posting work, asking questions. It's really nice in there right now. So yeah, check all that out. Links are going to be below. Have fun with this, guys. Use it in your projects, and I will see you next time.